Big vibes, stay blessed and say this. It's your boy blkfinesse. We're here for Mitsi Studios, man. We here with it. Alright, so this one's called Weird Weapons of War. Mitsi Studio. Regardless of what it is, don't matter what it is. You feel me? Let's watch it. Let's watch it. Wait, metal darts. Okay. I may have to mute it.
During war, always be prepared for a rainy day. Except it's not raining cats and dogs this time.
Darts I've seen before.
It is raining metal darts and some more.
Yeah, I think I've seen that in like Battlefield 1.
Called Fletchette was first used by the French in World War I.
Okay.
Metal darts were carried.
Yeah, I've seen it in Battlefield.
Aeroplane. The pilot would search for enemy positions with large concentrations of infantry. When released, hundreds of metal darts would fly down from the sky towards the enemy at high speed.
How heavy were they?
The weight of the darts made sure it could penetrate the steel helmets of the soldiers below.
Must have been real heavy.
However, if you were one of the lucky ones not to get metal darts into your skull, you and your friends would still be transformed into a bunch of porcupines, being in a lot of pain as well.
There must have been a lot then.
Phil Taylor dropping these bad boys would have made the crowd go wild on some impressive 9 darts.
Davy Crockett nuke mortar. That's weird. That's like it looked like a Nova missile.
Why not? For sure, you don't have to worry
Poison
about
missile.
your rounds missing the target because this anti-everything in front of it device doesn't know any near misses. A bunch of soldiers could carry around this device on the battlefield, deploy it relatively quickly, and fire a 23-kilo nuclear mortar over a distance of 2 kilometers. Upon impact, the mortar would explode, creating a blast yield of 20 tons of TNT.
Wait, that's like a nuke?
It's not a good thing if you are on the receiving end.
A small nuke?
Outside the blast zone, soldiers close enough would still receive a lethal dose of radiation. You get the point by now.
How is this weird then? It's like a nuke.
Death and nothing after the event of firing this weapon.
Yeah, that's not weird.
Its deadly potential, the weapons were never used in active combat.
It's just nuclear. Vespa 110 tap. A little,
Does the name
probably
sound like fun?
a motorcycle with a gun.
And this next vehicle is going to be to your liking. This French design is an answer to the question, can you kill tanks while being on your way to a local bakery? We've all been there. It also carried 6 extra rounds in case your scooter was still there after firing it. Hell, why not do a wheelie and use it as an anti-air gun as well? Now, I know we constantly make jokes about the reputation of the French military, but you can't just show us a moped with a fucking naval gun slapped to it and expect us to keep straight faces. Although, in the Frenchies' defense, the cannon was not really designed to be fired while on the move.
Right.
However, in the heat of battle, you could still fire it if you felt like it.
Yeah, it's probably not the best kind of weapon. You're flying backwards.
This weird weapons video is weirdly brought to you by World of Warships.
Yeah, it's flown backwards. I don't think that's probably the best weapon to use. Like, if you're sitting on a motorcycle, the weight of the motorcycle is not even heavy enough for it to sit still. Krummlauf. STG 44? I've seen that gun before. People still use it. Oh, you're talking about the attachment.
System is made for you. The Krummlauf is a curved barrel invented by the Germans in World War II.
You can't see who you're shooting at.
Based on an STG-44 assault rifle to shoot around corners. You would think this gives you some serious tactical advantages on the battlefield. Well, it does in some cases. For example, if the enemy is hiding in a pipe, stuck on a toilet, or just drowning in a well. In most other cases, however, it's useless.
Really?
With the 90-degree barrel variant, the enemy was not able to see you, but you could also not see the enemy, unless you mounted a bunch of mirrors to the gun, which you might not like to carry around on a battlefield.
Right, because people can see you.
After firing a few mags, the barrel was completely turned to shit. Bullets shattered, turning the device into a shotgun. Basically, the only way they could have made this weapon even dumber was by making the barrel 180 degrees.
So the Germans was doing that, okay. Pigeon guided missile.
Before the introduction of advanced guidance systems, there was an unusual
These are real things?
missile guidance involving pigeons. The project was called Project Pigeon. Sounds sophisticated already. This idea never made it beyond the drawing board, but nevertheless it ruffled some feathers. A pigeon in the nose of the missile, which we will call Pilot Cuckoo for now,
That was a Family Guy term.
Screen. The target for the missile would be displayed on the screen through a camera. Pilot Cuckoo would be trained to peck onto the target with great accuracy, although the reward for completing these difficult aerial maneuvers would be a very quick death for the bird. I mean, I can imagine winning better prizes for coming in
that's
first.
kind of a waste of
Despite the sophistication of the
time.
pigeon-guided missile system, Pilot Cuckoo did not make it very far in the pecking order. And other more advanced weapon systems
You're
were
basically
implemented
killing
and
birds.
turned into real weapons. Sorry, Pilot Cuckoo. Yes,
what
we
bomb?
are serious about this one. A gay bomb. Now, you are probably thinking they can't hint at a device designed to bomb people into gayness. Well, prepare yourselves. At some point in time, a concept emerged for a chemical weapon that would release pheromones, causing soldiers to get sexually aroused and attracted to individuals of the same sex. Which is a nice way of saying they dropped their guns and started to suck each other's cocks in anger. How do you make a war movie about that? I mean, can you imagine a soldier storming an enemy position only to find a bunch of soldiers occupied in some mutual fellatio? And the Oscar goes to... In the end, the project was considered impractical and unethical. Funny, bombing civilian targets every few years in Goat Fuckistan is okay, but turning people gay is a bit much.
That, like, what? A bat bomb. I'm not too surprised about that
The
one.
Americans came up with the idea to put a shitload of bats into a big cylindrical container and drop it over a Japanese city. After it stabilized in freefall, the container would open at a predetermined height. Thousands of bats carrying incendiary devices designed to ignite upon impact would dive down on the city below. Since most buildings in Japanese cities were made of wood, well, you do the math. Many wooden buildings
Okay,
plus
so bats were
thousands of
attracted to the
blazing
wood.
bats equals a lot of buildings gone and many people homeless. But then the Americans came up with the nuclear bomb. It equals even more buildings gone. Oh, almost forgot about the homeless people. They would also be gone in this case.
Jeez.
The Americans obviously preferred the latter, maybe because they hated Japanese people, but also, who wants to carry a giant metal Pringles can with thousands of Molotov bats in their plane,
Right.
cruising at an altitude of 30,000 feet? Anyone?
Yeah, he basically set it off. Incendiary pigs.
In
Not too
ancient
surprised about that
warfare,
either.
Creativity often met necessity, leading to some unusual tactics. One such historical oddity is the use of
Kind of like
incendiary
Suicide
pigs.
Dogs from Modern Warfare
The story
3.
dates back to ancient Rome, during the siege of Megara Publia. And yes, we forgive you if you don't know the place. In a desperate attempt to breach the city's defenses, pigs were coated in a flammable tar and set alight. The Romans hoped to achieve success by completing these steps. Step 1. Getting the pigs panicked, which worked because they were on fucking fire. Step 2, make them run towards the city gates, which also worked. Step 3, setting the city on fire. Well, this did not happen. The pigs ran back to their loving, caring owners and set them ablaze. I guess it goes without saying that failing epically to complete
Because
step
animals
3
don't know no
did
better.
not help the Romans a lot.
They're only
in
gonna go where
taking
there's
over
open
the city.
space.
It was not all bad news for the Romans, though. At least they could drink away their failure with some good wine and some delicious spicy fried pork. Bon appetit.
Schwerer Gustav. I don't know what that is.
Traveling light isn't an option when you're hauling around 1,300.
Oh yeah, that's that big
Yep,
weapon
you heard it right.
the Nazis
Say hello
made.
to the Schwerer Gustav.
I remember
This
that.
Nazi-built
They tried to
railway
make it.
artillery gun was nothing short of excessive. Just for starters, this thing had thousands of tiny little Nazi soldiers to assemble, disassemble, transport, maintain, and obviously fire the weapon. Oh, and after firing it about 300 times, the barrel inside looked kinda like the target it was firing at. Not exactly ideal. To make a shittier design even shittier, it could only be moved fully assembled if it was placed on 2 parallel train tracks. So forget about a quick shoot, in and out while flashing around your big long gun. Wait, that sounded a bit gay.
I'm
Anyways, back to Nazi terror weapons. This project was mostly Hitler's brainchild. So it goes without saying that you can regard all of this as part of a longer list of bad military adventures.
It's just too big.
Sorry, Mein Führer.
Royal Aircraft Factory B9. So this is probably World War I again.
I am sure you already know a few planes or plane-ish creations that were not a success. However, this next invention is probably far beyond not a success. Say hello to the BE-9, the world's first plane with a propeller between the pilot and the gunner. Any drawbacks to that? Well, forget about any instructions going back and forth, you know, with a propeller between you and the pilot.
Can't
Besides
see.
not talking, it might also be a great idea not to tilt your head backwards. If you do, you will be a headless gunner, and your pilot buddy will get a complimentary brain shower at 12,000 feet. I'm sure that doesn't help anyone during an intense dogfight.
Yeah, probably
wait,
not the best.
It does help someone. The enemy pilot. Duh. It wouldn't take long for a smart Dutch guy to come up with a machine gun that could just shoot between the propeller blades, putting this shitty plan into the shitter.
The plane designs weren't really the best. I get it though. It's a lot of revolutionary differences. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe down below. It is your boy Black Finesse. We out. I don't really have much to say after this video. I mean, a lot of the weapons I'm not too surprised about because it's just back in the day. I mean, not many people had technology to do stuff. But come out for the next video. It's your boy. We out.